My family forced me to take out a loan for my brother's wedding, then banned me from the celebration. Because it wasn't my day, I should have said no the second they asked. But I didn't. Because when it's your family, when it's your younger brother, you tell yourself you're supposed to step up. You don't question it, you just do it. Even when everything in your gut is already screaming, don't. It started 6 months before the wedding. We were sitting in my parents' kitchen, me, my mom, my dad, and my brother Tyler. He looked nervous. My mom looked rehearsed. She started with, "We've been thinking, and Tyler really wants his wedding to be special." Then came, "The venue is a little more than expected." And finally, "You're doing well, right? You're stable. You don't have a family of your own yet. Maybe you could help." I asked how much. My dad slid a printout across the table. $14,672. I remember the exact number. Still see it when I close my eyes. I just sat there. I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. I blinked. Tyler was quiet, not embarrassed, just quiet, like he knew this was already a done deal. My mom said, "It's not forever. We'll help you pay it back." Spoiler, they wouldn't. They kept using the word help, but let's be honest, it was a loan in my name, full amount, full interest, tied to my credit, and no cosigner in sight. But still, I signed the paperwork a week later. Why? Because Tyler's my brother. Because my parents said I was the strong one. Because I've been told my whole life that I'm the responsible one, the safe one, the one who gets things done. You know what they really meant? The one we can use without asking twice. The money went fast. Venue deposit, a catering upgrade, a fancier cake because her family is used to high-end stuff. Tyler and his fiancée picked out these ridiculous gold-trimmed invitations that cost almost as much as a new mattress. They wanted fireworks. Fireworks at a wedding in July. I didn't argue. I kept my mouth shut and kept watching the loan balance tick upward. There wasn't a single thank you. Not one. Not even a casual, "We really appreciate it, man." They just started sending me invoices like I was the wedding planner's accountant. I remember sitting in my apartment one night eating cereal for dinner while getting a Venmo request from my mom for floral rehearsal table centerpiece mock-ups. I didn't even know what that meant. I sent the money. I started telling myself it would be worth it. That when the wedding day came, I'd feel proud. That maybe I'd get a moment to give a toast or at least be recognized for keeping the whole thing from falling apart. You can probably guess how that turned out, but back then, I still believed family meant something. Back then, I still thought I mattered to them for more than just my signature. The wedding was on a Saturday in July. Hot, humid, expensive. They picked this vineyard outside the city, the kind of place with a gravel driveway, a chandelier in the barn, and absolutely no cell service. Rustic but elegant. Translation, overpriced. I showed up early like I was asked. Tyler didn't look at me when I arrived, just nodded and went back to talking with his groomsmen about cigars and the playlist. I figured I'd be sitting at the family table. I wasn't. They had a giant seating chart printed on foam board. My name was there, up table 14, near the back, right next to the bathrooms. Across from a couple I didn't recognize and a kid who kept sneezing into the bread basket. When I asked my mom about it, she smiled and said, "It's not about where you sit. It's about being here for him." Right. No one thanked me for the cake. No one mentioned the photographer I found and paid the deposit for. No one even offered me a drink. I got a program at the ceremony that listed everyone in the wedding party. Cousins, godparents, even the DJ, but not me. When I asked if I could give a toast during the reception, my mom pulled me aside and said, "Don't make this about you." Just like that. I wasn't trying to steal the spotlight, I just wanted to say something about my own brother. Apparently that was too much. Even the slideshow and the one I spent hours collecting childhood photos for, didn't have my name anywhere. Tyler got full credit for family memories, and his fiance's dad stood up during his speech and thanked everyone who helped make the wedding happen. Except me. At one point, I went outside to get some air. I sat on a bench behind the barn and scrolled through my bank app. My next loan payment was due in 4 days. $349. Every month, for the next 5 years. And I wasn't even allowed to speak at the reception. I was halfway to my car. I wasn't going to cause a scene, I just didn't want to sit there being invisible. But then I heard it. Voices around the corner. I recognized them instantly. Tyler, my dad, and my mom. Tyler said, "Good thing he took the loan. We'd never have pulled this off otherwise." My dad laughed, said, "He's always been good for that kind of thing. He's used to being the one in the background." And my mom, she said, "As long as he doesn't ruin today, he's done his part." They didn't know I was there. Didn't even lower their voices. I sat still, staring at the gravel, and I finally got it. It was never about me helping. It was about me being useful. That's all I'd ever been to them. The reliable one, the responsible one, the backup plan they didn't have to say thank you to. That was the exact moment I stopped being family and started being done. I didn't say anything, not when they walked past me 5 minutes later still laughing. Not when my mom smiled and said, "Come back in, they're about to cut the cake." Not when Tyler hugged someone else's dad and called him a true role model. I just nodded, walked back inside, sat through the rest of the reception like I wasn't bleeding internally from what I'd just heard. I didn't cry, didn't drink, didn't make a scene. But I started planning. First thing I did when I got home, I checked the audio app on my phone. I hadn't meant to record them. I'd been using the app earlier in the day to make some reminders, and apparently it was still running in the background when I sat down on that bench. And just like that, I had it. Their whole conversation. Every word. My brother calling me an idiot. My dad laughing about me always being in the background. My mom literally saying I just needed to not ruin the day. I played it back twice, then saved it in 3 different folders. Just in case. The next morning, the Instagram posts started rolling in. Best day of our lives. Couldn't have been more perfect. Thank you to everyone who made this happen. Everyone but me, apparently. So I waited. Monday morning, I woke up early. I took the audio clip, trimmed it, posted it in our family group chat. No caption, just the file. Within 30 seconds, the typing dot started blinking. "Mom, what is this?" "Dad, where did you get that?" "Tyler, WTF, do take this down right now." I didn't answer. Instead, I posted it again. This time on Facebook, under Tyler's wedding photos. Caption: "Here's what your perfect day cost in case anyone's curious." Then I logged off, went to work like it was any other Monday. By lunch, I had 20 unread texts, 5 missed calls, and 2 voicemails from Tyler's wife's mom. Apparently, the post got shared. People were talking. Some of their friends unfollowed them. A few commented directly. "Wow, really? You let your brother pay and then trash him behind his back?" By 3 p.m., I was blocked by Tyler. By 6, I was out of the family group chat. Not a single apology, not even an attempt. And honestly, that told me everything I needed to know. They weren't sorry about what they said. They were just sorry they got caught. I didn't post anything else. Didn't respond to the calls, didn't explain myself. I just went silent. And in that silence, they unraveled. I thought the worst part would be the silence. Turns out the worst part was how fast they started turning on each other the second I stopped responding. By Tuesday morning, I had a voicemail from my aunt saying she was so sorry about the way I was treated. I hadn't spoken to her in over a year. Apparently, she'd heard about what happened from a cousin who saw the post and forwarded it through the family group chat before I got kicked out. By Wednesday, people were commenting under wedding photos things like, "Wow, some people really know how to use others," and "This didn't age well." Some posts got taken down. Others stayed up, but comments were turned off. They were scrambling. That night, I got a message from Tyler's fiance's maid of honor, someone I'd never even met. She just wrote, "Honestly, good for you." I didn't answer, didn't need to. Then came the call from my dad. Not a text, a full-on call. First time in months he reached out without a guilt trip request attached. He didn't apologize. He just said, "You made your point. Take it down." I told him I'd think about it and hung up. I had no intention of deleting anything. A few hours later, I got a message from my mom. Paragraphs long. She started with how upset she was that private family moments had been made public. Then she shifted to saying it wasn't what it sounded like, and that emotions were high, and that sometimes we say things we don't mean. That would have landed better if she hadn't sounded so calm and composed in the recording. She ended with, "You don't want to carry this bitterness forever. Let's move forward." Bitterness. Right. The truth is, I wasn't bitter anymore. I was just done. Done pretending I wasn't being used. Done pretending family equals loyalty just because we share a last name. A week passed. The wedding buzz faded. Their captions dried up. The fairy tale energy was gone. Then one afternoon, I got a call from a blocked number. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. It was my brother's wife. She sounded rattled. I could hear the tension in her voice even before she got to the point. She said, I just need to ask, was there more? Like more stuff he said about you? I didn't lie. I told her I hadn't shared everything. I told her that the wedding was paid for by a loan in my name that I'm still repaying. I told her Tyler and my parents had no intention of helping with it. I told her the version of the truth she married into. She was quiet for a long time, then said, Thank you for being honest. That was the last I heard from her for a while. 3 weeks later, my cousin sent me a screenshot of Tyler's Facebook page. The profile photo was gone. Relationship status changed to, it's complicated. It's been 4 months since the wedding. My loan payment still hits every 17th of the month. $349 automatically pulled from my account like clockwork. Every time it does, I shake my head and remind myself, I paid for a wedding I wasn't invited to take part in. Not really. The worst part isn't even the money. It's knowing they would have let me keep paying, year after year without ever saying thank you. They would have smiled at me across tables, posted family photos with me standing just out of frame, and called me such a good brother while laughing behind my back. But I ended it, and they hate that more than anything. I haven't spoken to my parents since the night I posted the audio, not once. They've tried passive-aggressive texts, a voicemail from my dad that sounded like it was written by a lawyer, and even a birthday card my mom mailed with a line that read, Hope you're ready to forgive soon. I didn't reply. Tyler? He's a ghost now. His Facebook is gone. His LinkedIn says, currently seeking new opportunities. Apparently he lost his job because someone at work found out he was bragging about playing his brother for wedding money. Screenshots. I wasn't the only one he'd bragged to. As for his wife, ex-wife I guess, she left him 2 months after the wedding. Ran off with the wedding photographer? No, really. The same guy I helped book. I didn't laugh when I heard. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt... Still, there's this strange peace in watching someone who once thought they had all the power unravel because the lies finally caught up. I didn't have to do anything dramatic. I just told the truth and walked away. Cousins still try to message me sometimes. Little check-ins to see if I'm doing better. As if I was the one who needed fixing. I've learned that being the quiet one in the family doesn't mean you're weak. It means people get used to stepping on you because you never push back. But the moment you do, the second you finally say enough, they act like you're the one who burned it all down. I didn't burn anything. I just stopped holding the matches they kept handing me. And now, every month when that loan payment hits, I don't get angry. I just smile. Because for $349 a month, I bought my freedom. And the best part? That wedding was the last party they'll ever throw with my money.